I actually started off as a bass player with a Vox bass and a Silvertone amplifier, if I'm remembering correctly.
So 1972, how old were you then?
12.
12.
I ended up sneaking drum lessons off of my cousin next door, who was getting taught by a professional drum teacher, and I decided to go up to his window, look inside his window in his garage where he was being taught, trying to absorb everything that was being taught to him to the best of my ability, of course. Not saying much for 12 years old, what you can learn and what you don't. But, anyway, next thing I know, I'm asking him to borrow his drums, and I'm playing them.
And then, of course, there's the gap between when you first start and when you first have your first professional gig. How old were you when that happened?
About 13. 1 year later.
Well.
Yeah, I was. Don't tell anybody. But I was snuck into a bar. I was snuck into a bar, and I was playing drums for a country western band called Kurt Anderson and the Country Mountaineers.
Okay.
They needed a drummer, so they recruited me, and they said I couldn't leave the stage because of the drinking laws, and all that stuff. I had to stay right there the whole night, but I did, and I made $50 on my first professional gig.
Oh, my word.
Right around 1981, I decided I wanted to start getting into music again, and so I started my own little private productions and stuff because I was starting to get into the writing around that period. But probably right around 1982, still being in the Musicians Union, I met up with some old friends of my family's, my brother Steve and myself, and my brother Steve ended up introducing me to a guy named Bob Brazier, who was a leader of a Christian group called Citadel, who later on became the leader of another secular rock, punk, new wave band, if you will, called the Tweezers.
Okay.
So right around 82, 83 is where we're up to now. I ended up replacing a really good drummer they had named Mike McKelvey and going on to make records with the Tweezers. This was the release that we did. It was called the Lovable and Fearless album, but it's actually just an EP, 6 songs. And there's my mug on the back there.
There he is.
Good things. We ended up opening up for bands like 2020, Tom Verlaine, the Bangles. We were the opening up group for the Bangles at a place called French Quarter here in Anaheim. But I was just sitting on my lawn one day, and it just kind of took me by surprise. I just sitting there, just listening to KNEC like I do every day, and then lo and behold, here comes the title track, Lovable and Fearless, over the airwaves. It just kind of like blew me away a little bit. But it turned out good. We played a lot of concerts, opening up for a lot of bands. We got a lot of write-ups in newspapers, local newspapers and stuff like that. And just moving it fast forward through the 80s, I ended up joining various bands in the Southern California, Los Angeles area. Instigators was another group that was mostly a cover band with some originals. Anyway, Alan Ruffier came over and talked to Bob Brazier, myself, and the rest of the band, now formed as Bad Juju, and we collectively put our heads together, all of us serving as producers in the band, to produce an MTV video. Well, lo and behold, a few weeks later after the recording, we got a call from New York, the MTV studios, impressing all the producers and the right people there. And next thing we know, January 7th, 1988, we're being aired in front of 150 million viewers worldwide on MTV.
This is not national television.
This is international TV. Last year, 2011, April, I lost my brother, my big brother Steve, who was my biggest fan as far as supporting my drumming and music career. So it kind of took a personal note, and I decided I wanted to try to do something to help people, bring value to people's lives, and help them break addiction. So I started a nonprofit organization in 2007. Youth recognition. We received grants already from the Walmart Foundation, as well as Bank of the West Foundation, and then another grant under the Community Reinvestment Act to them. What we do is first we target low-income, disadvantaged teens and adults that have meth problems, drug problems, or alcohol problems, and we break those addictions using a medical treatment protocol that's 3 to 5 days, done through IV infusions, and then we move on to counseling programs. We have a couple of counseling programs in place, but we're advocate for a program called U-Turn for Christ, which is an 8-week program for men and women on a national level. It takes them in and basically takes them where they need to go. And we do fundraisers, benefit concerts. The whole purpose for this demo is to create an educational series called Interview of Rock, or Interviewer of Rock, if you will, under just one acronym, IR. And then having it move to different genres, meaning IC for Interviewer of Country, IJ for Interviewer of Jazz and Latin, and to appeal to young aspiring musicians, songwriters, arrangers, producers, on showing them through education, with us interviewing top celebrities who have made it in the business through some of my contacts as a result of the MTV thing and the union thing and stuff, showing them how to succeed without following that path of drugs and alcohol. That's our goal, is to create a tool, educational tool for those people that are up and coming in the business. But the thing that makes me so excited about this program is that we're running anywhere from 60 to 87% success rate at breaking addictions.
Wow.
And then when we follow it up with the counseling program, or solely the counseling program, then you're talking a 100% success rate at breaking the addictions. And that separates us from the rest of the herd. So I know it works, is what I'm saying. I know the program works. I know it works, and that's the most important thing. I'm a living, breathing testimony of the fact that it works. Hi, welcome to IR, Interviewer of Rock. My name is Alan Sweet, and we're at the beautiful waterfront resort at the Hilton Company, downtown Huntington Beach, California. We have so much to offer as a nonprofit organization, and we're supporting two other outstanding nonprofit organizations here in Orange County. RYTMO, RYTMO.org, and CDOFS.com, where there's a ministry from that called Compassion, which helps homeless people by supplying them with food and other resources. The RYTMO organization helps teens offer scholarships to them to get involved in music programs, recording arts, and things of that nature. I spent 35 years in the music industry to get to this point now where all I want to do is help and serve people, and to work through these nonprofit organizations to do such. I've lost family members, loved ones that I love very much, and I've ended up losing dear friends of mine to drugs and alcohol. I had just recently found out that one of the members I appeared on MTV with was the sax player and one of the vocalists in the band of Bad Juju. He just lost his life last year. This is getting very personal to me, and my fight is increasing on this to get support from major corporations such as this one watching it right now. I'm appealing to you to screen this video, to make a decision to get involved with the marketing and development and the distribution behind this product any way you see fit to bring this product to fruition. That's my goal. I've held fundraisers and concerts in the past for the I Am Workshop Tour, where I've hired top name individuals. The most recent one I did was in 2011, last year, at the beautiful Silverland Inn and Suites in Virginia City, Nevada. This is a photograph of Prairie Prince, who's the drummer for the rock band The Tubes, Jefferson Starship. He's recorded with Brian Eno, and he was one of the drummers for George Harrison of the Beatles. He's a good friend of mine. He would be willing to support this nonprofit organization by another interview of rock, IR. So he's just one out of 19 others that we have slated that would be more than willing to come and support this program and to bring benefit to the nonprofit organization. So what I am asking for you to do is to consider an investment in this company as a nonprofit organization and the two others that are attached to this, to create a series for profit that will enable proceeds to dwindle down to the 3 nonprofits that are attached to this. That's the goal. Thank you very much for being with us. We hope you enjoy this production, and God bless you. Thank you.